everybody, for watching this week. If you enjoyed, make sure to check us out. I don't have a whiteboard or a blackboard right behind me, so you're just going to have to... I know. I don't have anything special this week. I'm boring, but that's okay. Subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that good stuff. Anyways, shoutouts, callouts for this week. I had a few contenders, some of which might appear at some point later, but I did end up going with just one. It's a call out, just because I think it's the stupidest sports take I've ever heard on air. Because like that's how some people make their money. Like the Stephen A. Smiths, the Max Kellermans of the world. They'll go on and just like kind of spout their mouths about. Exactly. Like they'll say stupid stuff like the Nashville Predators are going to be second in the Central Division, and like stuff like that, where it's just like, okay, like clearly not even
clearly
serious
don't even
here.
know what you're talking about. Yeah, what the heck are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Where you can kind of just brush them off at least and be like, okay, like I know I'm supposed to get mad at this. Like I know this is almost like rage bait. I'm not supposed to like get mad at this. Mel Kiper. NFL draft analyst Mel Kiper said something the other day that I don't know, man. I took the bait. It's just so stupid. If you say this, you should immediately be banned from talking football on TV. He said, I'll pull up the exact quote. So he's like a fucking 70-year-old man. And here, I'm just going to read the full thing. He said, well, I grew up with the best of the NFL, the 60s, the 70s, into the 80s. You're talking about deep shots, the go route, the 9 route, the post. You're talking about Terry Bradshaw and the Super Bowl hitting John Stallworth. You see Leroy Irving diving, right? Just off his fingers. There's the receiver. They laid it out there. Hit the receiver in stride, 65-yard touchdown. It's a beautiful thing to watch. That's what I want brought back to the NFL, okay? Check down kings, bubble screen sensations, boring football. I want to see those deep shots. That's what the NFL was built on. Now, when he says that, he's getting pissy about the fact that this year that we haven't had a lot of passing explosiveness. And now I think it's interesting that it goes back to like the fucking 60s for that, when you can go back like 5 years ago and see Mahomes and Tyreek. Yeah, so even then, he makes it sound like the NFL has just been ruined for like decades at this point, which just isn't fucking true. But then he finishes us all off by coming to his conclusion, which is that the NFL is being ruined by teams on defense being allowed to play too high safeties, too deep safeties, and that they should ban teams from having 2 safeties deep in their backfield. Banning just the formation of having 2 safeties deep at a certain distance. That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, how are you just gonna ban the defense from lining up in a way that most modern coverages are built off of this point?
Yeah.
You think the defense is when you change so many rule changes favor the offense at this point. You're going to take away something that can just be prevented. It's not illegal. Like there's nothing bad about it. You just have to adjust to it. If you don't want teams to run too high on you, run the damn ball. Then they'll come down. Yeah. Then you can throw the ball over the top. Like, I don't understand. This NFL ebbs and flows like this. There's going to be some weeks, some years where passing is down. Teams will adjust and it will come back. So to overreact and just say you need to ban 2 deep safeties, anybody who's ever played or watched the sport knows immediately how stupid that is. If you're going to ban 2 deep safeties, I don't know, why don't you just ban running backs lining up in the backfield? Why don't you ban tight ends? They shouldn't be that close to the line of scrimmage. Having an extra blocker is an advantage for the offense. Why don't you just, I don't know, you could ban a number of things. You could ban anything if you're having this mindset. It's just stupid, and I hate it, and I don't know why you get airtime, Mel Kiper.
The quarterback has to count 5 Mississippis before he throws.
Exactly.
Let's put some new rules out there.
The stupidest thing I've ever heard.
TJ Watt's putting up a 75 sack season. Oh god. Yeah, no, that's up there. That's got to be one of the dumber things that I've heard in a minute. I was you know what's funny? I can't remember the name of it, which is a bad start when bringing up something that feels similar to it in sports. But baseball banned what's it called? The shift. They banned the shift. And that's like a much, much smaller version of, I feel like, something like that. Where a lot of times, like a few years ago, for a lot of hitters, what defenses in baseball would do was just slide all the way over to their strong side and make it way, way tougher for like hitters who primarily only hit to one side of the field. And then they banned it, and a lot of people were pissed about it because they were like, well, that's dumb. Like that's part of the strategy. When you play in the shift, you know the risks, right? Because you're leaving an entire side of the field open. It kind of feels similar to that, trying to say that you want to ban two safety, because in my head, my immediate thought is what would end up happening is NFL defenses would just find a new way to like, find like it would just be something new. Like there'd just be something new. I feel like double teams would probably become more common, where you just, instead of having a safety high, you just put a corner, like running out with someone on a straight, and then I guess I'm already up here or something. I don't know. Like
even then, like it's just like it's so impractical because you could do that, but then like how do you actually like ban that? His proposal was just to force them to line up closer, but then you could just have them bail, I guess. It just feels like useless. I don't know.
Lining up closer doesn't matter really. Like they'd still be able to do it. They just run back. Like they're still. How far is closer? Like what is closer?
I don't know what his number was. Yeah. I think he was saying, off the top of my head, I believe it was 9 yards, which that's crazy close to the line of scrimmage, considering
super
not
close.
even like
my guess
past
would have
the
been
first
20.
down.
My guess would have been 20, which is the funny thing. Which still feels like that's somewhat close to where safeties would be anyway. Like a close safety.
Yeah.
Like it's not. I don't know, man. Like it's a dumb take. It's a dumb take for sure. I just think that I think a better way to put it would have been if he's trying to say that he wants the NFL to it's forcing evolution is what it is. It's forcing evolution in something that doesn't really need it. Like I think that's the biggest difference between this and banning the shift. When they banned the shift, it meant that teams had to find a new way to defend against these one-sided hitters, right? Like they had to find new ways to combat that. It's all just about innovation, right? I think if he was trying to say that, like he wants to, which in a way I actually agree with you. I think if you're trying to create innovation in the NFL, you want teams to get more creative, ban something on the offensive side. Create a real shift on that side. I think that would be more interesting. But banning that doesn't make any fucking sense. So, yeah, I agree with you. It's
just so stupid.
I don't have a shout out. I can't think of anything. All I have off the top of my head are like drink shout outs, which is so lame.
It's okay. Go for it. That's a classic.
It's a classic at this point. You know what's funny? I was gonna set something up. This is why I was mad that I couldn't get my other camera to work. Because I was going to do the fridge cam thing that I showed you a while back. I was going to do that, but I can't. It's unfortunate. It's sad. I discovered this. I've been getting into like non-alcoholic beers. That's been my new thing. Because I think they're good. It's a way to drink beer without the alcohol, which is like it's a perfect combination for the lame person that I am. But anyway, found a Saskatoon berry one. It's like the fucking greatest thing on earth. It's terrific. Because I don't know if Saskatoon berries are a thing outside of here. Outside of like Western Canada.
Western Canada.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a thing outside of Western Canada, but they're great. I love Saskatoon berry pies are like, that's peak right there. Getting that in a drink, I don't know why no one's thought of that before. Again, probably because it's a Western Canada thing and no one cares about us. But God, no, that's stellar. That's stellar. So there's my drink shout out. It's called I'm just going to say it right now. This is I was thinking of this when I picked it off the shelf. This is the worst name for, non-alcoholic beer company. It's a non-alcoholic beer company. And I think that needs to be emphasized when I say this name. One for the Road Brewing Co.
Oh, yeah. That's not like
It's if they do anything that is alcoholic, that only
true.
that only work. Like my immediate thought was like, they better not sell like real beer, because that's
Yeah, this better not be just like a non-alcoholic branch.
yeah, because that's not good. That's in fact one could argue that's pretty bad right there.
One incident happens, they're immediately going down in flames.
Oh
like,
my
that's...
gosh. No, it's not even an incident. I feel like it should have gone down in flames years ago, whenever they started. That is like my immediate thought was like, even though it's like there is no alcohol in this thing at all, like absolutely none. I still thought like,
Really,
I don't,
guys? Yeah.
yeah. I get the whole idea is you're trying to advertise to like people like the designated driver, right? That's the whole idea with stuff
Yeah.
like this is you're like going like, oh, it's one for the road, it's one for the designated driver. Great. I don't know. It's too on the nose. It's too on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit much. I don't know about that. But you know what? I don't know. They taste good, so it's okay. The name it I don't know. It's good. It's got some weird graphics on here, to be honest with you. Like it's super. You can't really see it. It's super. I thought it was a cool can, but the longer I look at it, it's super blurry. Like it's a super. It looks like it's like a 360 pixel like JPEG that they just like put on a can. I think it's really funny. I think it's great. There's my shout out of the week. It's funny because like we love the drink shout outs. I think though I will commit to it. For now on, I promise, hopefully I can get to work again. Please. If I can get my magical second camera to work, I will do a fridge cam every single time that and it has to be a different drink. That's my other rule, which is so sad because I do think that this can is very pretty. I think it would have looked very nice, but
yeah,
sad.
It's okay. You just gotta find a prettier looking can.
They have
speaking of pretty looking cans.
That's 10 out of 10. No, that's stellar right there. Holy shit.
I couldn't not.
Cans.
When I had that thought in my head. Speaking of pretty looking cans, you know who's got the prettiest looking can, and not just all of Atlanta, not just all of Washington a year ago, but the whole U.S., the whole world. That is Michael Penix Jr. with the prettiest looking can. Put him in your fridge can. That's what I'm expecting to see next week. But we don't want to put him in the fridge because we all know that can's got to be served warm. And with that, Penix better have a warm ass. See you next week.